Sa halip na kalikas ay wasakin, mas lalo nating ito pagandahin sapagkat ito, oh, sapagkat ito ang tahanan natin. Wow, pagdilat ng aking mga mata, problema aking nakikita. Problema sa dagat at sa kagubatan, lupang katutubo'y pinag-aagawan. Inang kalikasan ay sugatan, ako ay labis na nasasaktan. Mundong noon ay kaaya-aya, ngayon ay winawasak na ng madla. Oh, mga kabataan tayo na't magtulungan, tayo ay magkaisa at magsama-sama. Huwag natin wasakin, ating mundo'y pagandahin. Masdan mo ang kapaligiran, magkulay at may buhay kung saan-saan, sa ilog, dagat at sa sangkalupaan. Dahil nagtulungan, hilumi ng kalikasan. Mga kabataan tayo na magtulungan, tayo ay magkaisa at magsama-sama. Huwag natin wasakin, ating mundo'y pagandahin. Wasakin, ating mundo'y pagandahin. Mga kabataan tayo na't magtulungan, tayo ay magkaisa at magsama-sama. Magtulungan, tayo ay magkaisa at magsama-sama. Huwag natin wasakin, ating mundo'y pagandahin. Sa atin to, sapagkat ito tahanan natin. Mga kabataan tayo na't magtulungan, tayo ay magkaisa at magsama-sama.
Mga kababayan tayo na't magtulungan, tayo Okay, good afternoon sa ating lahat and welcome again to another Conversations. Kahit sobrang late na, so Happy New Year na po sa ating lahat. Ako pala si Mio, ang inyong host for today's conversation. And gusto ko lang kayong batiin lahat na Happy Zero Waste Month kasi January is National Zero Waste Month. So I hope we're doing our part to contribute on promoting zero waste by recycling or reusing different waste na we throw away, na we take for granted. So again, the purpose of this conversation is to actually bring up topics or environmental issues so that we can make them mainstream and have them talked about, especially in our present day. So, without further ado, let me introduce our guest speaker for this afternoon's conversation. So she is the current convener of the Guadalupe Women's Community. In 2022, she became the ACES ambassador or ACES ambassador of the Waste Hero Alliance, became a volunteer at the BSP camp clearing operations, and is the current project head organizer of the Safe Spaces campaign. So everyone, let us all give a warm welcome to Israela Crisan Sala. So welcome and good afternoon, Miss Israela.
Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, good afternoon. Kamusta naman po kayo today, Miss Israela?
Quite hectic yung schedule natin, pero laban pa din, no?
Yes, kahit hectic at busy-busy, laban pa din tayo, not correct? Tama,
Laban pa
laban pa
din.
din. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So, Bleh. So, Miss Israela. So, napansin ko malakas ang sense of volunteerism mo, no? So, what made you decide to become a volunteer when it comes to the protection and conservation of the environment?
Mm. So I started volunteering for the environmental issues when I was still, I think, elementary student, no? So at an early age, it was really instilled upon me that the importance of protecting our environment and also segregating our waste. No, so it started when I was elementary and continued until up till now. No, so I never stopped actually in becoming a scout. No, when I was elementary, I was a Girl Scout. Tapos when I became high school, I became a Lady Scout. So what made me decide to become a volunteer? First of all, is that the activities itself is fun, and at the same time, aside from it is fun, it gives me purpose, no, in my life. So I also realized as I progressed throughout the years that as I involve myself in different advocacies, in different initiatives in the community, I realized that the issues in the environment is oftentimes neglected. um, there are initiatives, yes, there are initiatives to deal with the environmental issues. However, it is not strengthened because I think, no, because the problem itself is systematic, no, that maybe we can solve a certain part of the issue, but not necessarily the whole itself, no, and the wholeness of the problem is really systematic and quite complicated to solve itself. So um, as a young volunteer, as a young person, no, as a young leader, it is not bad, or it is a good idea, rather it is a good idea to start somewhere. So as a volunteer, it is good to start in the minimal levels, such as volunteering in cleanup drives and clearing operations, so that your values will build up. And as you progress as a leader, no, as you widen your scope or your landscape, you will be able to influence in the near future. So I think that's my core talaga, and why I am still active despite being a college student in environmental issues po.
Yeah, that's good to hear, no, na ever since you were young pala, you've had this sense of purpose to actually help in promoting the protection of our environment. And tama ka nga din, no, na when we solve different environmental problems, hindi naman siya within a snap siya solve eh. Kasi there are different branches to that problem na connected pa din. Na kailangan, if you solve this, you need to solve this other branch na connected pa rin dun sa problem na yon. Hindi lang siya in one take talaga. So it's really a very timely, yet at the same time, it will be very worth it in the end to see the fruits of your labor talaga, no? So, you've mentioned you have a lot of advocacies. Meron ka bang, let's say, bias, no? Meron ka bang bias or really na pinaglalaban na environmental advocacy?
Right now, I'm actually part of the organization called Youth Claims Boo. And one of our initiatives right now we're still in the stages of consultation with the affected people and also the experts. Now, there's an issue in within Cebu City. Cebu City is a city in Cebu. The issue is the building a power plant, LNG power plant. So LNG means liquefied natural gas. No, and when we try to dissect, what could happen if this power plant is um, called this built within Cebu City, and the affected barangays within Cebu City are very urbanized. No, I would say it is part of most of its community is part of the urban core. So if this power plant is built in Cebu City and there are five barangays to be affected, um, the possibilities of or the outcome the possible outcome of this power plant is that first, the residents will be displaced. Aside from they will be displaced, the the area itself, since the five barangays is near the Metro Cebu area, and that Metro Cebu is very populated, no, because of course there the people gathers there to work, to buy goods. So the air itself and the pollution will heighten because of this what you call this of this power plant. No, so that's the current environmental advocacy that I am focusing in.
Okay, that's very good. Kasi tama nga din, no? When we have developments within our country or in a community, mahirap talaga na masa-sacrifice ang isa or dalawa just for the sake of human consumption din. But at the same time, tayo rin in the end ang magsasuffer kasi we lose these natural resources. And at the same time, our country being a small island, madami talagang madi-displace with the limited amount of land area that we cover. So, as much as possible, sana when we have developments in our country, sustainable siya. And at the same time, walang magsasuffer na local communities na marginalized or say walang masyadong kakayahan. And at the same time, hindi din magsasuffer yung ating ecosystems kasi we are considered, the Philippines is really considered a mega diverse country. So sayang naman kung hindi natin mapapanindigan yung pagiging mega diverse if madami nang nangyayaring destruction sa ating bansa. So very good yung anyong advocacy regarding the protection of local communities, local areas, as well as yung surrounding environment, no? And you were a Girl Scout, tama, no? You
Yes
were,
po,
so now lady ka na, Lady
Lady
Scout ka
Scout.
na. May ganun pala, ngayon ko lang nalaman actually na meron palang
Mm.
Lady Scout na tinatawag. So as a Lady Scout or siguro na rin as a Girl Scout before, what would you say is your most memorable experience involving the environment? Like meron ka bang naalala na something memorable, like any experience, like any encounters as a lady or Girl Scout?
Sige po. So far, no, all of my experience sa environmental na issue, those are actually memorable. No? So it was when I was reading or when I was trying to answer your question, it was hard for me to pick one. So siguro the the one experience that stood out siguro is during the cleanup drive when I was grade 9. Cleanup drive in a river, and before I was living when I was living in Barangay Nea 1, a barangay here in Cebu City, and we are actually living beside the river. So we are very vulnerable to floods during heavy rains and even typhoons. No, so when we were cleaning the river in BSP camp. No, that's the beneficiary river when we did our cleanup drive. I realized something that before, when I was a kid, no, grade five, I know grade four, grade six, when I was living there, the people in the community is like they're normalizing the throwing of their waste, their solid waste into the river. So, and when as a young as a young person, no, since I'm just what they call this, following the quote unquote community protocols. So for me, I thought it was normal. I thought it was maybe it's one of the practices here. So when I started, or when during the cleanup drive, I realized that what we did before was really bad for the environment, and the practice itself of throwing garbages into the river is detrimental to the health of the people beside the rivers, and also to the organisms living in the river. That's why pala na when we were scavenging in the river, we saw no fishes at all. Kaya pala, because of the pollution.
Okay, so medyo parang gano'n din yung case pagdating talaga sa, let's say, Pasig. Grabe na rin yung lala ng dumi when it comes to the Pasig River na sayang, there could have been thriving freshwater life in that river, pero due to unmanaged solid waste, ayun, nag-compile up na, dumumi na at bumaho yung river na hindi na siya sustainable for living for any life in it except for the people above na who take for granted yung importance of rivers. And I think people need to understand, especially in our country, how important rivers are. Kasi rivers are connected to our ocean. So when you
Yes.
dump in the river, you're somehow directly dumping na rin to our oceans that affect the marine wildlife there na we are also rich in. So as a mega diverse country talaga, it gets frustrating na we take for granted these things na yung mga wildlife natin na limited na lang ang mga population. So I think it's, yeah, maganda yung we start young and we begin to realize na this is not normal what we did before, and we need to do something about it so that we can teach also younger generations not to follow in those footsteps, no? Okay. Now that we're in the topic na of solid waste and bilang National Zero Waste Month na din, ano? So, what would you say is your take on solid waste management, and how has this type of management how has this affected your life, or has it affected you in some way?
Okay. So before I was living in at the barangay, no, that I was living in when I was living beside the river is called Barangay Inayawan. And Barangay Inayawan has this dump site, no? So we call that White Road, no? So we are just few kilometers away from White Road, or the dump site. So my take on solid waste management is that when we tried to dissect, no, when we tried the consultations from the for the waste pickers, no, so I realized that the problem is really systematic, no, that when we try to solve the problem, it should come from the consumers down to the pickers, down to the waste management and the recycling itself. So how is solid wastes what do you call this process, no, so that our environment will not be really dumped with garbages. Now, it is really systematic, and the solution, since it is systematic, should be systematic as well. So I think the main components, or the one that should be um, what they call this making the first step are the legislators of our nation, and also our local governments know that um, there should be laws that will protect the dignity of the waste workers, such as the pickers, the one segregating, or the one who is processing the waste in the dump sites. And also, aside from the dignity, no, we should also look at how how the waste are processed, or where do they go. So we call that the circular movement of the waste management. So I think, no, that legislation has really an important part of solving this problem. And aside from the legislation, of course, we should also look at the implementation. of the said law. So that's my take po.
Okay, yes, correct po kayo diyan, 'no? It's really then a matter of implementing strong rules and laws and regulations when it comes to solid waste management. Kasi without these strong laws or rulings, people will just continue to practice impractical ways to manage their solid waste na in the end, sila rin yung magsasuffer na mawawalan sila ng natural resources because the environment around them has become so toxic for anything to live in. So it really is bringing up to our legislators how important it is that we really practice sustainable ways to manage our waste, to protect our environment. Kasi it all mostly our problems involve human intervention pagdating sa environment eh. So really, we need to have stronger rulings kasi di lang pwede na, okay, this is the law, sundan nyo lang. No, kailangan rin talaga may gawing action on it. So,
Mm-mm.
may saying nga na actions speak louder than words. So, ayun. Okay. So why don't we take a short break first before we move on to the remaining part of our conversation? So we'll be right back after a short break.
Sige po.
The Inspire project is a grant-making facility to address environment issues and strengthen natural resource governance through a strong collaboration among all sectors.
In 2021, the USAID awarded the Jerry Rojas Foundation a grant to natural resource resilience and security. Through increased participation of various stakeholders in local natural resource governance. By making scientific information more engaging and inspiring for the public to take action. Inspire seeks to motivate people from various sectors and create community-based solutions for the environment. Investing in the creativity and capacity of civil society organizations. The project seeks to improve management of landscapes and seascapes, enhancing the way people work together to open opportunities for inclusivity and convergence. Leveraging project resources to attract investments from public and private sector. And sustain nature's services that support life, allowing communities to enjoy its benefits and live with dignity. To recognize that where we live is who we are.
Okay, and we're back. So welcome ulit sa ating lahat sa Conversations. Now we'll be on the second half of our conversation with Miss Israela. So, Israela, 'di ba, active volunteer ka or yeah, active volunteer ka pa rin ngayon at present, no?
Yes
Okay.
po.
Okay, that's very good to know. Sige. So, as an active volunteer, what would you say is the biggest reward that you got out of volunteering? Since yun nga, you've been volunteering at a young age, which I'm amazed. Tas until now, na-sustain mo pa rin yung motivation mo to volunteer. So, what has been your biggest reward so far out of volunteering?
Mm. I would say, the biggest reward is that my values, how it shaped my values talaga. Because when looking back during the years, before the years rather, when I was still elementary student until I became a high school student, tapos in the college years, I saw how I progress in my values. So right now, the biggest reward that I have talaga is how I found my purpose in life. Because during my active volunteering, or during those days, or during those months and years, I realized something when I look at the people, no, as a person who really loves serving others. I want to see these people strive in life, no? That I want to empower them in ways that I can. So the biggest reward would be that it got me right where I am. Na right now I'm actively helping others, giving opportunities to others, and helping them achieve those opportunities. So I think that's the biggest reward that I've got in my volunteering journey talaga.
That's good to know. So, syempre, with those very memorable feelings come the hardship. So, what would you say has been your biggest obstacle all throughout your volunteerism years
Mm.
or years in volunteerism?
There are actually many, no? So first, of course, the most common struggle is the time management. So aside from being a volunteer, I'm also a student, I'm also a daughter, I'm also a child of the family, no? So I also have other responsibilities. Aside from that, I'm also a student, of course.
Mhm.
So I really have a lot of responsibilities to hold. So the biggest struggle, yes, time management. Aside from that, during the scouting movement, no, since okay, the difference between Lady Scout and Girl Scout is that when you are a female in a Girl Scout movement, you are called the Girl Scout. When you are a female in the Boy Scouting movement, you are called a Lady Scout. So that's the difference between the two. Now, one of my struggles, yes, one of my struggles in my journey is that my gender actually, so since I am part in an organization that is filled with men, it is actually a struggle for me to prove myself. So when I achieve these ranks, these awards, I always try to prove to other people that I am more than just, I'm just more than a beauty. I am just more than a lady, but I am also capable as my male counterpart. So that's one of the main struggles that I encountered during my journey, not till now, of course.
Okay. So, ngayon ko lang rin nalaman actually na meron rin palang gender inequalities pala when it comes to Lady Scouts. Kasi sabi mo Lady Scouts are actually women under pa rin the Boy Scout na group, tama ba?
Yes po.
Unlike sa Girl Scouts have their separate group, no? Tama ba?
Yes po.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so grabe rin, no? Yung pinagdaanan mo rin as a Lady Scout. So, dapat, despite your gender, it doesn't mean na you're less of a person despite
Mm-mm.
your gender na. And it's good na you've proven yourself na I am more than just a woman. I can achieve more as a woman. I'm not anything less but more. So that's good to know na despite all these hardships na naranasan mo, you never gave up on your spirit of volunteerism. And na-touch naman ako doon na parang I didn't really exactly know kasi hindi naman ako nag-Boy Scout or whatever. Pero thank you for opening up na meron pa rin mga discrepancies or inequalities when it comes to women in the scouting world or scouting group na despite being a Girl Scout or a Lady Scout who is almost as much as capable in my understanding sa mga iba't iba ring Boy Scouts, meron pa ring mga unequal na
Mm.
treatment. But syempre dapat ibahin pa rin natin yung mindset na women can do as much as what men can do. So, very good ka diyan. So, natuwa
Thank you,
naman
thank
ako
you.
on that. So, good job. Sige. Okay. So, again, as a volunteer, how can you encourage the youth and more people to not only properly dispose their waste properly, kasi zero waste month, but at the same time, how can you encourage them to help protect our common home, which is the environment?
Yes po. So, since we are youth, no, so and of course when we are at the age of 15, 14, 16, parang hindi pa wide yung natin, yung networks natin, yung initiatives natin, parang yung mindset natin is in the adolescent stage, no. So, my advice to those people or to those young people is to start somewhere. No, if you want to be part of the solution, if you have this drive, if you have this attitude, no, na I really want to help preserve our common home, which is the earth, no. So you have to start somewhere. So you have to start within yourself. Of course, try to evaluate yourself. Try to we call this in the environmental na evaluation of the self. Tapos and try to quantify your waste every day. So for example, in a day you're gonna throw 5 plastic bottles baron or like that. So you'll try to evaluate it and eventually you'll try to strive to lessen your waste. So that's one, let's say, recommendation in starting in yourself, no. So aside from starting with yourself, second is join organizations, no. Join organizations that are actively taking part of the solution, because when you are an individual, Mangood, I'm not saying that you have no impact, but you have lesser impact than those organizations that are already organized like that. So we have this ana- analogy na yung parang yung walis tingting ba yun sa Tagalog? Yung parang yung sticks na
I think so.
ginagamit. Walis
I
tingting
think
pa ba
so.
yun sa
Basta
Tagalog?
walis.
So the people said that those sticks, no, when they are alone, they have lesser impacts to the soil that they are trying to sweep. But when they are compacted, when they are as a whole, no, or they are organized, no, when there are many, they have bigger impacts to the community. So that's one of the analogy that we have in our volunteering journey, no. So it is better to join organizations really that are actively solving these issues, because in an organization there is a collective action, so you can influence more in the legislative side or in the actions itself, no. So when cleaning up, hindi lang ikaw nag-iisa. So you have many people that are with you in your initiative. So that's the second part. And also the third one is, let's give importance, or let's give value to the service providers, especially to the waste workers, no, because um, we have this kind of mindset, no, in the Philippines, that if you are a waste worker, you are lesser, no, than those um, professionals and those people who are not waste workers. So um, but when looking at the problem, no, these waste workers are actually really essential in trying to solve the problem. But since we are what they call this um get we are what they call this not dignifying their work, so it's like their last option, or what they call this maybe they themselves do not like their work as well, because the people are not respecting their work as well. So my take, or my take on this issue is that let us try to value our waste workers. So aside from respecting them, of course, let us influence as well the legislative side of this issue. So ayun, let's give more importance to our waste workers po.
Okay, thank you so much. So, yeah, tama din kayo, no, na meron pa rin talagang mga professions that a lot of people tend to look down upon, frown upon, or just simply just discriminate just because it's a simple task or simple work. Pero honestly, even the simplest of work can make a huge impact. Like, yun nga, as you mentioned, yung mga waste worker, laki rin yung hanga ko na they are able to segregate these tons of waste na nanggagaling sa atin na we ourselves cannot even do. And yet, other people have to do it for us. So,
Yes.
magkaroon naman tayo ng hiya
Yes
kahit
po. And they
papaano.
are exposed to many hazards, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah. So, to the audience out there, let's not take for granted yung mga waste workers, and at the same time, all our other all workers who have say simple professions, let's not take them for granted kasi in the end we really need them, because if we can't do it ourselves, who will? But at the same time, we need to do it ourselves to make their job a little bit more easier, kasi di rin madali ang trabaho ng isang waste worker. Kasi ika nga ni Miss Israela, they're really prone to a lot of hazards kasi di lang naman, let's say, food waste or mga iba't ibang, di lang naman food waste ang limit ng mga waste workers, but they also have yung mga hazardous waste from hospitals na they have to sort out, which is really dangerous talaga. So I hope that in the future na there's legislative action to really strengthen yung pagkakaroon ng waste management sa ating bansa. Kasi at this very moment, we're doing a small amount of having that solution to our zero waste management. Okay. So thank you, Miss Israela. And this is where we finish our conversation. So thank you so much for sharing. And now we will be moving on to a question and answer if there's any question and answers from our audience. So the floor is open po from our live audience for any questions po. Any questions po for Miss Israela regarding her volunteer work, her advocacy for zero waste? Okay, so mukhang wala. Okay, so okay lang din naman. At least we get to converse in these dialogues na we bring to the public and make them aware about these topics. Kasi syempre, who who else will hear? Even if it's just a small group, at least our voices are being heard. Kasi hindi ko naman pwede sabihin na there are voiceless groups. They have a voice. It just so happens that those voices just need to be amplified to the public so that they can be heard. Okay? So thank you again, Miss Israela, for those inspiring dialogues and inspiring answers. And speaking of inspiring, uh, so, speaking of inspiring, the USAID Philippines is calling for applicants for the Conservation Academy Fund. Yes, under the Inspire project. So, this grant is open to graduate students, researchers, and even individual members of the media. So, if you want to know more, visit the Jerry Rojas Foundation Facebook page. Again, that's Jerry Rojas Foundation, Jerry with a G. Okay? So, before we end, Miss Israela, do you have any? Please, would you give us a call to action before we end our conversation for today?
Yes. So the issues in the environment, no, we should also look at it in a perspective that um, the capitalism perspective, no. So I call upon those private companies who are actively um, manufacturing products that are significant in our waste, no. So I call upon those companies and also those countries that are much contributing to the climate change, no, because the Philippines, although we have this problem in our practices in terms of contributing to the whole climate change, is that the Philippines has insignificant contribution when compared to other countries that are developed countries. No, so I call upon those countries to strengthen or to take accountability towards climate justice. So that's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Israela. Correct. Accountability po, no? Okay, so thank
Big word.
you. Yes, thank you, Miss Israela, for that call to action. And again, I would like to thank you for sharing your insights and your stories with us with the topics discussed today. And sana rin yung ating audience na inspired din to help protect our environment as well as practice zero waste management in your own little way because even the littlest action can make a big change, okay? So, let's all come together again and protect our common home. So once again, this is Mio Mamon, ang inyong host for this afternoon. And thank you and have a good day, everyone. Thank you again, Miss Israela. So
Thank
goodbye
you.
and thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.